Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Offbeat. This your host, Jack Analog. Today we got a special guest, my man GK, the groundskeeper.
Yeah,
Know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Let, let me give you a quick story. So, I'm hitting the beat battles and the showcases, right? And I see this dude, and he always, friendly dude used to come up talk to you. Like, he noticed certain things, like, certain people notice stuff about how certain people move, and he noticed certain things. So we talking, like building. And then I started this little thing where, I was like, yo, I'm trying to get the producers some light, right? So uh it was like, yeah, my man GK gonna do his thing. I was like, really? I was like, I ain't even heard him, really do nothing. And then first joint, he rock out. So I like to welcome you. What's good, GK? How you doing, man?
What's good, brother? What's going on? Ain't doing nothing. Cooling out.
All right, all right. So, here we like to talk about the stuff that like the producers go through, outside of just making the tracks, you know what I'm saying? Kind of, you know, what, what adds into what they do and, like maybe what they do for to get it out there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I always like to ask my producers, man, what inspired you to start making music?
Man, really what inspired me, my pops is a one-man band. Shout out to Kenny Lampkins. You know what I mean?
Word.
He was a one-man band, so really like growing up watching my pops play, he can play every instrument except for sing. He can play drums, he can play keyboard, bass, guitar. He mixed and mastered and engineered his own music. He played in the band through early on. He
Mm,
went on when I was a kid, he used to open up for Funk Parliament, Funkadelic and stuff when they came into town in
mm.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina and stuff. So my pops got real history in the music. So just growing up under that, really, you know.
Okay. Mm. That's interesting. So,
Yeah.
what I mean? You got to see a lot of things that, uh like a normal person like not involved in music would see, you know what I'm saying? Like what types of things did you see growing up, you know what I'm saying, that kind of, made you be like, yo, I really dig what he doing.
The illest thing I can remember seeing is a jam. They back in the 80s and stuff, they used to call it jam sessions. But I remember it was a jam session. He had a girl in his group named Carla and another dude in his group named Robert. And they just came to the crib and they was just freestyling like what we do nowadays, freestyling. My pops just freestyle, improvised a beat right on the spot, started playing a funky bass and right on the spot, laid the track,
Mm.
grabbed the guitar, played that, laid the track. Cause that back then they had
Yeah.
the little old school Tascam 8-track recorders. And
Yes,
then
sir.
they just got down and started freestyling, like singing and passing the mic, like passing the aux, like what we do now. And that was the first time I ever
Mm-hmm.
seen something like that live as a kid. And that was I was open after that.
Yo, that's so funny that you can relate that experience to like what you experience now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you talk about, past the ox piece to Alien Roswell, you know what I'm saying, to cook up. Um, the Spike Back Battles piece to Sick Mike, you know what I'm
Plug and
saying?
play, all that. Like I used
RPM,
to witness that
yeah,
go down
RPM
in my
Battle
kitchen.
League, Respect Apprentice P, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of these, it's other events, uh um that there was this element of people just came and just did their thing and won't know real like rhyme or reason to it, but it was like the dopest thing, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, that's the natural part of this music thing. It's like, yo, that element of just, yo, people coming together, man, and just the soul coming out, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
that's the most beautiful part to me, you know what I'm saying? So, yo, that's dope that you got to experience that, man. So, how did you correlate that into uh your current style of making music? You know what I'm saying?
Ah. It definitely because like my peoples is from the 70s and 80s. So, I'm 45 years old. So, my peoples didn't listen to rap music. I didn't have my first rap tape until like 1991, 92. It was like Beastie Boys,
Mm,
Beastie Boys, License to Ill, and I can't remember the other. I think it was like a Eric B and Rakim or something like that. So growing up, my people's listening to old school 60s and 70s music, R&B, the solid gold
right.
oldies, blah blah blah. So that's kind of what trained my ear. I got a kind of eclectic style. I guess a niggas want to say
Mm,
old school style kind of. You know what I mean?
right. Right, right. Yo, that's funny because, for me, I got that too. Like, I mean, I got it like retarded, crazily, right?
Yeah, Rick,
Like
crazily.
on
That was a
some,
good word.
yeah, crazy, like my grandma, and then like all the people that she lived around, and my brother, and all of that. So, moms and dads. So like I got that crazy. But then I used to go to the skating rink, and I never forget, man, the first time I heard Planet Rock, you know what I'm saying? And it was like,
Exactly.
what is this? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I got to experience that early, you know, almost when you could still kind of hear the disco in it, but
That was
it was just so different. You know
To
what I'm
me,
saying?
that
Like,
was the beauty of the '80s. To me, it was like the music just still had a real sound. It was still had a authentic sound to it. So that's what trained my ear was
right,
that '80s sound. You know what I mean? That's what trained my
right.
style. I like boom bap, and I'm not really good with the software and all that because, like, once again, I'm an '80s baby. So
Yeah, yeah. So so what's your weapon of choice? What's your current weapon of choice? Like what you go to produce your music?
MPC one. And I got a Nectar Impact keyboard that I got MIDI to the MPC as a controller, so I don't always have to mess with the MPC. The MPC is basically just like the brain, and you know what I mean. I let the keyboard do the work. You know what I mean, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I mix down using the software, the MPC 3.6 software, on the screen sometimes when I get tired of looking at that small screen. But other than that, like I said, I'm kind of old school. I bang out. I don't really do the cutting and pasting with the software and all that.
Okay, okay. Hey, everybody got their process, man.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
what would you say for you right now? And I'm talking in terms of uh, like let's say a certain type of plugin or let's you say the MPC one is like that's your main weapon. So like maybe some type of function inside of that that's like the most difficult for you, or something
Oh,
inside of the neck. There's some type of you know settings, or you know what for you currently. What would you say is the most difficult tool or resource you have when it comes to making music?
um, what I'm just now starting to get good at, and I feel like was kind of guess was difficult was the mix down process inside the MPC.
Mm,
Because once again, I'm kind of old school, so I'm used to the knobs and levers on a regular mixer. So it was like just the digital mixing, just training my ear to hear that digital mix and get them levels right. So of course I had to buy better monitors to be able to compensate for the
mm-hmm.
different
Mm-hmm.
frequency and all that stuff. So it's just, I mean, if that's what it is, it's just basically training my ear to the new software and the new digital sounds and stuff like that. So just mixing down really is what I'm just now starting to really get kind of
Mm,
good at. You know what I mean? Like I've been hearing it.
mm,
I've been going back listening to my older beats and I'm hearing like my mix downs is getting better. You know what I mean?
mm. So then what you're saying is that, you started off with a certain process, and then you got to a point where it was like, yo, I have to improve on this, and in order to improve, I have to improve my setup, right?
Exactly.
Because you said you had to
Exactly.
get some monitors. So
Exactly.
that's a beautiful thing. That I think a lot of producers up and coming, you know, people that are just starting out, got to kind of realize that, hey, yeah, you can get Fruity Loops, you got a computer, you got a laptop,
You gotta
and,
invest in some
you can
hardware
start
though.
making beats. Right. Well, at some point, if you want stuff to be heard and you want it to be heard a certain way, then yes,
Yeah, you
you're
got to
gonna
get some
have to.
monitors. You got to get some. You got to invest in yourself. That's what I, that's what I'm learning too. You got to invest in yourself.
Right, right, and uh, I'm glad that you telling the people that, because I think that especially now with like AI, I think they think that, like, you know uh, there's a magic button you can push and you can make hits, and producers are starting to people are starting to look at, like, I don't need I don't
Don't.
need producers. But the thing is that we talked about this in another podcast. There's sweat equity in this, and there's certain things that you learn, you know, tapping pads and going into software and dealing with plugins and whatnot, that give you a certain sense of know on how to do stuff. So even if you do deal with AI, you still got that knowledge.
Yeah,
Plus that's what's gonna keep you separate, because everybody still gotta have their sound. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's dope, man. I appreciate you bringing that up. You know what I mean? Um, so then let's flip it, right? Um, what you say is the easiest or the best tool, or really like your top thing that you like? You know what I'm saying? Uh, like, I'm gonna say for the MP, for me, it's them knobs, man. Like
Yeah,
the way you can just get a chop so finely chopped, you know what I
yeah. To be
mean?
in a
Like you can
micro
just
shop,
get it right down to the micro milli mic. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's like,
that's
yo,
definitely
it's
dope.
crazy. So I love, and I've been loving that since way back when I realized it was on the Renaissance. I was like, oh my goodness. So yeah, for you though, you know what I mean? What's your favorite, you know, go to plug in effect, you know,
Oh, that's a good question.
gadget trick?
Because I guess I got my what I've been really into lately, because I guess because I got the keyboard MIDI to the MPC. What I've really been into lately is like all the plug-in instruments. I've been getting a lot of collecting a lot of plugins and really trying to learn chord progressions and notes and stuff, and play chords and keys and stuff like that. So I'm still doing my sampling thing, but if you hear like a lot of my most recent beat, I'm doing a lot of playing with the keyboard and the beats too. You know what I mean? I'm trying to add that to my arsenal. So I think that's what I'm really having fun with right now, is the plugins and stuff, all the different sounds that you can make this keyboard controller. You can make this jank sound like anything. You can make it sound like a grand orchestra piano, all the way down to a rinky dink banjo. You know what I mean? You can make it sound like anything.
Right. And by the way, I would advise you to check that Dropbox. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
All
But
right.
I I I definitely agree, man. You know, having, and like I've experienced a new way to I'm gonna just say a new way to extract MIDI. And um now I'm looking at things like, yo, dang, I wish I had this sound library, this instrument library, and such, But that's only because I found out a way how to, extract MIDI, you know what I'm saying, to
Yeah,
be able to manipulate it in such a way where I can add, to it. So now it's more me, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
that. And for me, in the end of the day, that's what I want to accomplish, is to be able to make music that's me, you know what I'm saying? To be
that's the whole point.
to come from. Right, right, right,
That's what music is. It's a physical it's a physical, a musical expression of physical of human. It's a musical expression of human emotion. That's why I don't really deal with the AI and all that, because I feel like it takes the humanity out of it. Because music is an art form. Only thing the art is a physical expression of human emotion, whether it's painting, drawing, dancing, making music, whatever it is, it's supposed to come from a human element. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't
Right.
really deal with the AI, and which I don't knock people who do, because different strokes for different folks, and people use it as a tool, and all tools are to be used properly. A tool, anything could either be a tool or it could be a weapon. It could be positive or it can be destructive. You know what I mean? So that's with
Right.
anything. So I don't knock it, but
True indeed.
me personally, I don't deal with it.
Right. Well, I mean, what I will say is that I'm for any tool that improves my workflow, that
Yeah,
gives me efficiency, and I've experienced that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Um, with AI. Now, you know, I don't use it to make anything.
yeah.
You know
You
what I'm
don't use it
saying?
as a
But
yeah.
I
You don't use
do
it as a cheat code, but
use
it's
it
definitely it's
but
definitely a
I use
tool.
it right. But I do use it to take things that I've created, and I'm talking about not because we sample, right? Beat battles, showcases. We use sample uncleared samples, but like uh, with this type of stuff, this stuff is all royalty free or played music. So it's mine originally anyway.
Yeah,
So me putting it in and then getting a certain rendition of it and pulling it back out and then adding to that, you know, I mean, that's still me. It's I'm using it just like people use session bands when they come in, the studios and play music, right? They just, hey man, I need you to play this in a C sharp minor. Boo doo 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 doo. They play they joint, they record it. You know what I mean? Sometimes they chop it up, sometimes they leave it, they do certain things, but they just basically pay them session players off and they on their way. That's how they make their money. That's why they call session players. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that's how I basically approach that. And then I'm seeing like Logic Pro, they already got a drummer, a guitar player, now they got a synth player. I'm like, good gracious, you know what I'm saying? So, but in the end, it's still got to be within your flavor and your style. You have to be able to make it,
yeah. It definitely
come
still got to
together.
be.
You know what I
It
mean?
still has to be you.
Right. It still got to be you. AI can't create a you. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
Like that's all AI can do is take what's already made and create something. But nah, know what I'm saying? And I know people that's done pushed it, and it's like, nah, it's nowhere close to what people. I don't know what people are imagining it to be. Nah, you know what I mean? But so yo, I guess, man, so what do you do to get your music like, like heard, like, what type of, you know, venues or,
Uh,
social media sites, like how do
Instagram,
you
Instagram, Facebook, Spike Bat, Plug and Play. Shout out to the
well
Plug and Play. Shout out to
hold up. Now, hold up, cause I know people know what IG and Facebook are, but I'm not too sure people know about what Spikeback is. Mike, can you explain
oh yeah,
exactly what that
yeah,
is
yeah,
to the
yeah.
people?
Spike Bet, beat battles, beat tournament. What it is shout out to my bro Sick Mike, the Virginia villain. Shout out to the villains. You see it in the background. You know what I mean? We big villains out here. Um, what it
True
is
that.
is a beat battle culture. All the local producers in the area get together and we battle it out, to see what it is. And we do it at the uptown location in the Virginia Village, the uptown location in Denby. And yeah, we do that once a month, and that's what we do. And so we got the Spike Bat, we have the Plug and Play. Shout out to Eminem Exotic. Uh,
True that.
what else I be doing? Shit, I did RPM a couple times, and basically just on the internet, on Instagram, Facebook, uh, just banging out with my bros, just trying to be everywhere with the music. You know what I mean? We about to start a supplier's YouTube channel here shortly. So
Okay.
we'll be able to dump footage and stuff up there, so people will be able to check out. I'll be hitting y'all with the information and everything about that in a minute. So we'll be have a location for everybody to subscribe to and check out music from all the suppliers, not just me, but from all the suppliers. You know what I mean? So
Nice, nice. That's nice, man.
yeah.
So let's talk about let's talk about your style. You know what I'm saying? Like your, and what I
Hmm.
mean by style, I'm not necessarily talking about the type of music you make, but more about the way you approach like making music. Like first of all, let's talk about like uh is there anything that you do to prepare yourself to even get to the point where you're making a track? Like,
Uh,
are you
yeah,
searching for drums? Are you, trying to find a certain type of sample? Like,
yeah.
how do you approach that?
I do listening sessions where I just turn on turn on whatever I'm sampling from, whether it be YouTube or I'm using my phone sometimes, whatever, and I just be hearing stuff. Sometimes I'll be watching movies and stuff, and the movies that just have sound ill soundtracks at the end of the movies where the credits roll. Sometimes I'll just sit and just listen to that for a little bit. But I do listening sessions, and then something will catch my ear, and then I find drums and extra stuff to go with. So I guess I fish for the sample first.
Okay. So you kind of you look for certain things and then when it catch your ear, then you grab it and then you
Chop it
add on.
down, and then I put the drums and everything else around it. So it's like the sample kind of is like a jog wheel kind of sample kind of get things rolling. Because to me, if I start out with just trying to find drums, I'm gonna be there all day. That's just my thought process. I'm gonna be there all day trying to find drums and then sample to match drums. So I do it the other way around.
Okay. So like since we talking about drums, like which one do you start off like when you say you find you so you already got your sample, so you kind of got an idea like what you want to kind of chop, in a
Yeah,
way, right? Like,
yeah.
but then when you go to your drums, right? Are you like laying that kick? Are you laying that snare? And then are you finding that snare first, like that sound you like, or are you finding that kick snare that you like first?
Once again, it depends on the sample because see, just like you should know, you a producer, so
Mm-hmm.
some samples are more rhythm forward. So if the sample is more rhythm forward, like it's more a lot of snares and rhythm going on in the sample, then I try to find drums and rhythm to kind of match that so it doesn't sound too off sync. You know what I mean? But now if the sample is more like instrument forward, then it's whatever. Then I find drums that just sound good with those instruments. But like if it's more rhythm forward in the sample, I try to find drums to match that rhythm because I don't want it sounding too off and separate. You know what I mean? So it just
So do you find the drums as a set, or do you like, pick a snare and a drum? Like me, I'm picking this snare,
yeah, I
this
pick and
drum,
pull.
and like
I don't just use whole kits because I might like the kick from this kit and the snares and the hats from this kit, but then I might like a sound effect from a whole different kit. So I pluck and pull.
right, right, okay. Yo, so I'm gonna ask you one thing, man. Yo, I'm gonna get you back up here, man, because it's a lot more stuff we can talk about. But real quick, man, like if you let's say you was 16, 17, right, and you right there where you like, yo, because in this era you can get Fruity Loops or whatever, right? You can get Koala on the phone for like $9, right?
Hmm.
But you at that point where you like, yo, I want to make some music. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you tell yourself, or what would you tell that person that is like, yo, I want to, they got the tool and they ready to start making music. Like, you know, what's like a main ingredient you would get them starting off, you know what I'm
What
saying,
I
on their
said,
journey?
what I said from the beginning, first and foremost, don't be scared to invest in yourself. Don't. we take a lot of chances and we do a lot of gambling out here in the world. Why not gamble on yourself and take a chance on yourself? If you're gonna gamble, why not gamble on yourself? So don't be afraid to invest in yourself first and foremost. Second off, stick with it, because there's going to be a lot of distractions. It's going to be especially if you're young, it's going to be a lot of distractions. There's going to be a lot of people trying to discredit your music. It's going to be a lot of naysayers, people to say you ain't good enough, or
Right,
you
right.
blah blah blah. Keep working at it. Youth is your tool. You have youth and time on your side. You know what I mean? Don't wait till you get
Mm,
45 like me and try to take it serious. Take it serious while you got the chance.
mm.
Take yourself serious, take the craft seriously, and you love the craft will love you back.
Yo. Hey man, tell the people real quick, man, where can they get in contact with you, man? Where can they
Uh
find you at?
Instagram, Barber Shinobi _GK. Facebook, Antoine the Groundskeeper Lampkins. Like I said, I'm gonna be hitting y'all with the information for the YouTube channel here in about another couple days. So you can pull up on me at the next Spike Bat that's coming up on the 31st of this month. You can pull up on me at the next Plug and Play. You know what I
All
mean? So
right.
I'm outside. I'm out here. You know.
Hey yo, man, I really appreciate you giving me your time, man. Once again, my man, GK the groundskeeper, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah,
check him out, look out for him, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I'm your
Appreciate you,
man.
bro.
No
It's all
problem,
love.
man. I'm gonna see you
No,
again. I'm gonna see you again. You know what I'm
all right,
saying?
peace.
Trust me.
Supply and
Um,
business. You already know.
all right, man. And I like to always end it with one saying, brother. Bumba
Oh my
Clyde.
God.
We out.
Peace.